Now, after monohybrid cross, in the previous presentation, we have seen how Mendel crossed tall and dwarf pea plants and what he has got in the first generation. Then, in the second generation, the ratio was 3:1. Now, when experiments on peas were repeated using other traits in other plants, it was found that sometimes the F1 has a phenotype that did not resemble either of the two parents, and it was in between the two. So inheritance of flower color in the this dog flower, which is also called as snapdragon or Antirrhinum majus, Antirrhinum species, that is a very good example to understand incomplete dominance. Now in a cross between true breeding red flowers, so here this time he has chosen red flowers of dog flower, that is snapdragon or Antirrhinum species, and with the true breeding white flowers. Now again here they are representing here the dominant and the recessive, and in the F1 generation this time he found a different combination, that is a pink. Okay, instead of red or white he has found pink flowers in the first generation. Now when the F1 were self-pollinated means when they are crossed with the same type of combination again. So what would be the result? So F2 result here has found the same ratio which he has got in the monohybrid cross, that is 1:2:1, where one was pure homozygous for red, two are heterozygous for pink, and one is homozygous for white. So this was being produced in the cross which he has made in the dog flower, that is snapdragon or Antirrhinum majus, where he tries to understand the incomplete dominance. Till now we have studied that how one trait is dominant and the other is recessive. Now this example will explain how the dominance can be incomplete. Now the incomplete dominance, now this is the cross that he has studied. Now parent generation phenotype, here red and white flowers he has taken. Now the genotype is taken as red, here capital R and small r, these are the alleles of the same type of the gene that he has taken. Then the gametes which are produced are here represented here, and in the F1 generation he has found that all were pink, they are produced. Then for studying the second generation, he has crossed all pink which were produced in the F1 with the same pink flowers. So when he has self-pollinated, then what he has found that this is the combination that he has produced. Now this is the Punnett square. Here we are writing gametes of one parent on one side, and gamete here small r is missing, so we can write here small r also. So these are the combinations which are being produced, that is one is pure homozygous and the two are heterozygous, and one is the pure, that is 1:2:1 ratio that is being produced, where one homozygous, two heterozygous, and one again homozygous combination that is being produced. Now, what exactly is dominance? Why are some alleles dominant and some recessive? To tackle these questions, we must understand what a gene does. Now, every gene, as you know by now, contains the information to express a particular trait, and in the diploid organism, there are two copies. So, everywhere we can see there are two copies or a pair of alleles are there. Now, these two alleles need not always be identical. Okay, sometimes they are identical and sometimes they are not. Here when they are heterozygous, they are not identical. So one of them may be different due to some changes that it has undergone, about which you will be reading further on in the next chapter, that what modifies the information that particular allele contains. Now let us take example of a gene which contains the information for producing an enzyme. Now when we take an example of a gene that contains the information for an enzyme, now there are two copies of this gene. Now there are two copies of the genes, and the two allelic forms, let us assume that in common, that the normal allele produces what? A normal allele produces a normal enzyme that is needed for the transformation of a substrate, and Theoretically, the modified allele could be responsible for the production of a normal or less efficient enzyme, a non-functional enzyme, or no enzyme at all. So these are the possibilities of the alleles which are responsible for a particular action. So the recessive trait appears. Now, recessive trait, why it appears? Due to non-functional enzyme or because no enzyme is produced at all. So in the first case, the modified allele is equivalent to the unmodified allele. That is, it will produce the same phenotype trait that results in the transformation of a substrate. Such equivalent allele pairs are very common. But if the allele produces a non-functional enzyme or no enzyme, the phenotype may be affected, and the phenotype or trait will only be dependent on the functioning of the unmodified alleles. Now, the unmodified functioning alleles, which represents the original phenotype, just a second. These are the unmodified and these are modified. So here we find that the unmodified functional allele, which represents the original phenotype, is the dominant allele, and the modified allele is generally the recessive allele. Hence, in the example here, the recessive trait is seen due to non-functional enzyme or because no enzyme is produced at all. Now, codominance. Now, till now we are discussing crosses where the F1 resembled either of the parents, both parents. Now, the two parents dominance, or in between, that is incomplete dominance that we have studied in the snapdragon and tyrannum species. But in the case of codominance, what happens, as the word suggests, the F1 generation resembles both the parents. Okay, F1 generation will resemble both the parents, so that is where codominance exists. A good example is different type of blood groups. Here blood groups, different type of red blood cells that determine the ABO blood group in the human beings. Now, ABO blood groups are controlled by the genes that is gene I, and the plasma membrane of the red blood cells has sugar polymers, and that produced from its surface, and the kind of sugar is controlled by a gene. So the gene I has three alleles, A, B and small I, and the alleles A and B, they produce a slightly different form of sugar, while allele I does not produce any sugar, because humans are diploid organisms and each person possesses two diploid हैं, तो there are generally two of the three alleles which are presenting. So IA and IB, they are completely dominant over I. Okay, they dominate over small I, that is the O blood group. In other words, we can say that IA and small I, when IA and small I, they represent only A is expressed. If I is with small I combination is produced, then only A will express, and when IB will be presenting with small I, then only B will be presenting itself, express itself. But when both A and B are coming together, when they both present together, then they both express themselves. And now why they express themselves? They express their own types of sugars, and that is because of codominance. So that is why AB blood group that is existing is an example of codominance. Here red blood cells have both A and B type of sugars. Since there are three different alleles, there are 6 different combinations of these 3 alleles that are possible, and therefore a total of 6 different genotypes of the human ABO blood type is possible. Now we know that 4 types of blood groups they are existing in human beings: A, B, AB and O. So these are the possible genotypes here. Capital if A, they are homozygous, it can be heterozygous also, where when A is dominant over I, then IA and small I combination will also be there. Here in B we find that homozygous is there and heterozygous is also possible when IBs dominate over small I. But in the case of AB we find that both they are present together, so that is the case of the codominance. So the example of this ABO blood grouping also provides a good example of multiple alleles. Here you can see that there are more than two. There are more than two, you can say, three alleles governing the same character. Since an individual only two alleles can be present, so multiple alleles, they can be found only when population studies are made. A single gene product may produce more than one effect. Sometimes we'll study now how a single gene product can produce more than one effect also. Here we are finding that in the ABO blood group, multiple allelism is there. There are more than two or three alleles governing the same character. Now here is the example where we find that a single gene product may produce more than one effect. So we can see here different effects of the gene. Sometimes multiple genes are producing effect, and sometimes a single gene product may produce more than one effect. So different combinations can be seen. So in the Mendel's law of dominance, then incomplete dominance, then codominance, and now the effect is more than one. So here a single gene product may produce more than one effect. For example, starch synthesis. Now starch synthesis in pea seeds is controlled by one gene. Okay, it is controlled by one gene, and now it has two forms. Now these two forms or two alleles, that can be this or that can be this also, or it can be this also, homozygous as well as heterozygous. Now starch is synthesized effectively by this combination when the both homozygous condition for the capital B is there, homozygotes, and therefore large starch grains they are produced here. So the starch grains which are produced, they are large, and in contrast when small b combination is there, so there we find that the homozygotes, they have less efficiency in the starch synthesis. Here it is more efficiency if this combination is there, and on maturation these seeds, their shape is also different, so the effect is more than one. So seeds, they are round, and here the seeds can be wrinkled. So heterozygous produced heterozygous. So when we see the heterozygous condition, so we find that in the heterozygous the condition will be different. So here homozygous condition will be producing these kinds of effects, and heterozygous produce round seeds, and so capital B seems to be a dominant alleles, but the starch grains produced are of intermediate size. So if starch grain size is considered as the phenotype, then from this single the allele show incomplete dominance. So this single allele show incomplete dominance. Therefore, dominance is not an autonomous feature of a gene or a product that it has information for. It depends as much on the gene product and the product of a particular phenotype from this product as it does on the particular phenotype that we choose here as an example. In case of more than one phenotype is influenced by the same gene. So same gene is producing the more than one effect on the phenotypes, different phenotypes here we can see. So we say that dominance is not an autonomous feature as we have studied in tall and dwarf plant कि एक ही तरह का एक्शन होगा. It will depend on the gene product, what the product is being formed, and the production of a particular phenotype from that product. जो product बन रहा है उससे उसके phenotype पे क्या effect हो रहा है, that will also be examined.